The storm clouds hanging over Port Charles seemed darker than usual. Inside the gallery, Ava Jerome stood alone, staring out the rain-streaked windows. Her hands trembled slightly as she held a photograph that had arrived anonymously earlier that morning. The picture showed a child, a smiling, innocent child, and attached to it was a simple message. The sins of the parents always find their children. Ava's stomach twisted. She knew exactly who had sent it. Ethan Lovett. Or rather, Ethan was the messenger. The real threat came from someone far more dangerous. Someone who wanted revenge, and someone who was willing to hurt a child to get it. Across town, Ethan paced nervously inside a motel room. For years, he'd lived on the edge. He'd lied, gambled, manipulated, survived. But this was different. This wasn't another con. This wasn't another dangerous game. A child was involved, and Ethan couldn't allow that. He looked down at his phone. 5 missed calls from Ava. 3 texts. No response. Because Ethan didn't know how to tell her the truth. The truth was worse than she imagined. Far worse. A knock sounded at the door. Ethan froze. He cautiously opened it. Standing there was Anna Devane. Her expression immediately told him she already knew something was wrong. Ethan, he sighed. You shouldn't be here. Anna crossed her arms. Then stop hiding and tell me what's happening. Ethan looked away. For several seconds, neither spoke. Finally, he whispered, They're coming after a child. Anna's eyes widened. What? Ava doesn't understand how serious this is. Who? Ethan swallowed hard. The people Ava crossed years ago. Anna's face grew pale. Even she understood the implications. Port Charles was filled with enemies, but only a few were ruthless enough to target children. Meanwhile, Ava sat in her office trying to appear calm. She failed. Her mind kept drifting back to the photograph. The child, the message, the threat. Suddenly, her phone rang. She answered immediately. Ethan. His voice sounded desperate. Ava, listen carefully. I'm listening. You need to stop. Ava frowned. Stop what? The investigation. Her expression hardened. No. Ava, no, I'm too close to the truth. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. Ethan slammed his hand against a wall. No, you don't. The sudden anger shocked her into silence. Ethan took a deep breath. Then he spoke quietly. They'll hurt a child. The words hit Ava like a freight train. For several moments she couldn't breathe. What did you say? You heard me. Who? They won't tell me. Ethan, please. His voice cracked. The sound stunned her. Ethan rarely sounded afraid. Now he sounded terrified. Please stop before an innocent child pays the price. Hours later, Ava met Ethan at a secluded pier. The rain had stopped. Fog rolled across the harbor. Everything felt eerie, dangerous, wrong. Ethan arrived wearing a dark jacket. His face looked exhausted, like he hadn't slept in days. Ava immediately confronted him. Tell me everything. Ethan shook his head. I can't. You can? If I do, people die. Ava stepped closer. Someone already threatened a child. His expression darkened. That's exactly why I can't talk. Ava grabbed his arm. Ethan. He looked at her. For a moment she saw genuine fear in his eyes. Not fear for himself, fear for someone else. And that frightened her more than anything. Finally, Ethan spoke. The child isn't the target. Ava frowned. What? The child is leverage. A chill ran down her spine. Leverage against who? Ethan hesitated. Then he whispered, You. The words echoed in Ava's mind. Leverage against her. But why? She wasn't the only person in Port Charles with enemies. She wasn't even the most hated. Yet someone wanted to use a child to break her, to punish her, to destroy her. Which child? She asked. Ethan looked away. I don't know. Ava immediately knew he was lying. Her voice hardened. You do know. No. You do. Ava, tell me. Ethan closed his eyes. The silence lasted nearly a minute. When he finally spoke, his voice barely rose above a whisper. "I think it's Avery." Everything stopped. Ava's world tilted. Her daughter, her precious little girl, the child she loved more than life itself. "No. Ava. No." Tears instantly filled her eyes. "You said you weren't sure." "I'm not. But there's a strong possibility." Ava felt sick. The dock suddenly seemed to sway beneath her feet. Ethan reached for her. She stepped back, unable to process what she'd heard. That night, Ava rushed home. Every second felt like an eternity. The moment she entered the house, she ran upstairs. Avery slept peacefully. Safe. For now. Ava sat beside the bed, watching, protecting, praying. Her daughter looked so innocent, so vulnerable. The thought that someone might hurt her was unbearable. Ava gently brushed hair away from Avery's forehead. Tears streamed down her face. For years, she'd convinced herself she could handle danger. She'd survived mob wars, betrayals, murders, loss, but nothing prepared her for the possibility of losing her child. Nothing. Elsewhere, Ethan sat alone. The guilt was crushing him, because he hadn't told Ava everything, not even close. There was another secret, a devastating secret, one capable of changing everything. His phone buzzed. A message appeared. "Did you warn her?" Ethan stared at the screen. Another message followed. "It won't matter." His blood ran cold. Then came the final text. "The child is already being watched." Ethan jumped to his feet. Panic exploded through him. No, they couldn't be that close already. Could they? Without hesitation, he grabbed his keys and ran. The next morning, Port Charles woke to shocking news. A child had disappeared. The report spread like wildfire. Panic consumed the city. Parents rushed to schools. Daycares increased security. Everyone feared the worst. At the PCPD, Anna reviewed incoming information. Her face grew paler with every update. The child wasn't Avery, but the kidnapping carried a terrifying message. A warning, proof. Someone was willing to follow through. Max Scorpio entered the room. "What do we know?" "Not enough." "Any suspects?" Anna hesitated. "Too many." When Ava heard the news, her heart nearly stopped. The nightmare had begun. Someone had crossed the line. An innocent child was now caught in a dangerous game. And suddenly Ethan's warning didn't sound exaggerated anymore. It sounded prophetic. She immediately called him. No answer. Again. Nothing. Again. Voicemail. Fear tightened around her chest. Where was Ethan? The answer arrived several hours later. Anna received a call. Then another. Then a third. Each report painted the same picture. Witnesses had seen Ethan chasing a suspicious vehicle near the waterfront. Moments later, gunshots. Anna immediately mobilized officers. By the time they arrived, the scene was chaos. An abandoned car, broken glass, blood, but no Ethan, and no suspects. Anna stared at the evidence, a horrible realization settling over her. Ethan hadn't been running away. He'd been trying to stop something, trying to prevent a tragedy. Ava arrived minutes later. The moment she saw the blood, her knees nearly buckled. "No." Anna caught her. "We don't know if it's his. But it could be." Anna couldn't deny it, because deep down she feared the same thing. Ava stared at the crimson stains, then at the empty street. Memories flooded her mind. Ethan begging, pleading, warning her, and she hadn't listened. Hours turned into a sleepless night. Port Charles remained on edge. The kidnapped child was still missing. Ethan was still missing. And Ava was unraveling. Then came the call. A distorted voice, cold, emotionless. "You were warned." Ava froze. "Who is this?" "We told Ethan to make you stop." Her heart pounded violently. "What do you want?" A pause. Then, "Justice." The line went dead. The following day brought another shock. A package arrived at the PCPD. Inside was a flash drive. Anna immediately reviewed the contents. The video quality was poor, but the image was unmistakable. Ethan, bruised, bloody, alive. He stared directly into the camera. "If you're seeing this," his voice trembled. "They've already moved forward." Anna's heart sank. The recording continued. "Ava, listen to me." Everyone in the room grew silent. "You have to end this." Ethan swallowed hard. "I don't care what secrets you're trying to uncover." His eyes filled with emotion. "Nothing is worth a child's life." The screen suddenly went black. The room remained silent. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Because everyone understood the terrifying truth. This wasn't over. Not even close. Later that evening, Ava sat alone beside Avery's bed once again. Watching. Waiting. Protecting. Her daughter's gentle breathing filled the room. For the first time in years, Ava felt completely powerless. Money couldn't solve this. Influence couldn't solve this. Fear couldn't solve this. Only one thing mattered now: saving innocent lives, including her daughter's. She looked down at Avery, then whispered softly, "I'll do whatever it takes." A tear rolled down her cheek. Whatever it takes. Across town, hidden inside a dark warehouse, Ethan slowly opened his eyes. Pain shot through his body. Chains rattled. The room was dimly lit, cold, silent. A figure emerged from the shadows. Ethan immediately recognized the voice, and his face drained of all color. "No." The stranger smiled. "Oh, yes." Ethan's heart pounded, because standing before him was someone everyone believed was gone, someone connected to Ava's darkest past, someone who had spent years planning revenge, and now that revenge was finally beginning. The stranger leaned closer, a cruel smile spreading across their face. "Tell Ava it's too late." Ethan's eyes widened in horror, because he suddenly understood the real plan. The kidnapped child, the threats, the warnings. They had all been distractions. The true target was never Avery, never the missing child, never Ethan. The true target was Ava herself, and the final move was already underway. As thunder rumbled over Port Charles, Ava stood by her window, completely unaware that danger was racing toward her. A storm unlike anything she'd ever faced. One that would force impossible choices. One that would test every relationship she had. One that could cost lives. And when the truth finally emerged, Port Charles would never be the same again.